Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I had some requests on one of my real estate videos. I'm not sure which one it is. You can check out the playlist here for the story. I mentioned this story briefly of when my house got gutted when I was trying to sell it, making a lot of mistakes early on. I think if you've been paying attention to my YouTube channel for a while, you've probably heard plenty of my mistake stories. If not, stay tuned. You'll definitely hear them. Some people like to only give you the success, but I like to give you the failure stories as I learn my lessons. So I definitely learned a lot of lessons, some nasty ones in real estate, but probably one of the worst nasty lessons that I learned pretty early on was when I was trying to, so to give you a little bit of backstory, so I had the very first property I ever bought. I bought when I was like 19 years old, and I bought this house. I call it the Coal Haven house. I still own this house, by the way. And it was this little house, like 2-bedroom house, like 900 square feet. I think I bought it for like $68,000 back then. And this house I had lived in for a little bit when I was going to school and when I was in Boise, Idaho. And then if you remember, you can check out my career story videos. I think in the very first video, I talk about how I got this, I was 19 years old. I got this awesome job at this company that was going to pay me $75 an hour, right? And so I drove down to Santa Monica and moved to California. Well, when I moved out of there, out of the house, I was in a rush, obviously, right? So I had this house. So I had a buddy of mine, and I guess I won't name names here, but anyway, let's just say a buddy of mine rented out the house from me, and I had no, like, now, obviously, that was pretty stupid, but he rented out the house, and he pretty much trashed the place. Like, he had dogs that just like pissed all over the place. It was a mess. And then he ended up not really paying rent, and this whole, it just became a huge pain in the ass. And so I'm over there in Santa Monica, I've got my job, I'm making a lot of money. I don't need this little house. I'm not really thinking about being a real estate developer or investor at this time. And so I think, let's get rid of this problem, because and there was a few other renters. I think, like, I tried to do this remotely. So, I had this crazy neighbor. She lived across the street, and she'd always tell me what kind of crap was going on at the house, right? So she would have like cameras outside, and she was just calling me up and telling me that there's drug deals happening at my house, that people are partying at my house, all of this stuff. And it was just, it was just crazy, right? It's just always stressing me out. And I don't know if it's true or not, right? I don't know how she's obviously crazy. So anyway, I rented it out to a few different people, and most of the time I didn't get the rent. Most of the time, like, it was just a pain in the ass. And then finally I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. I don't need this house anymore. I think I might have even moved to Phoenix at this point. I can't remember if I was still in Santa Monica. I might have moved to Phoenix at that point. But anyway, so I call up a real estate agent in Idaho, and and this is a big headache for me. I'm like, I'm basically like, this thing is stressing me out. I just got to get rid of this property. At this point, I'm ready to fold. Just give me, just get it off my hands. I don't even care if I get any money. I don't care if I have to pay a little bit of money to get this off my hands. And so I call this real estate agent, and we get it listed, and then I get this offer that comes in on the property, and it was a decent offer. I was like, okay, well, that was pretty quick. We, got the house sold. And so the guy that bought the property, in fact, actually back this up. So I got an offer from someone who did not want to go through my agent. He contacted me directly. He saw it was listed, right? And I hadn't had an exclusive listing with the agent at this point, right? So he called me up, and he was basically like, I want to buy your property. Let's not go through the real estate agent. And again, another stupid thing, right? Remotely trying to sell a property, deciding not to go to the real estate agent. It sounded too good to be true. And he was offering me, basically full price of what I was asking. And so, he sends me this like just I don't even know like some hokey real estate contract, right? Not the official form, not the 20-page contract. Just like a 3-page thing that basically says that he's going to buy this property. And then and he asked me and he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to renovate the property. Can I start working on it right now?" Right? And we're supposed to close, I think, in 30 days at this point. So I was like, well, yeah, might as well, right? I mean, let's just let this guy start working on it. It's the more the work that he puts into it, the more likely that he's going to close anyway, right? So, long story short, the crazy neighbor starts calling me up, right? And she's like, they're gutting your house, dude. They're trashing your house. They're ripping out the floors. They are they are digging ditches in the yard. Like that place is trash, right? And I'm like, don't worry about it. They're buying the property. I know what's going on. It's okay. And about like maybe 3 days before we're supposed to close on this deal, I get a call, maybe it's an email, I don't even remember, but the guy says, "Oh, change of plans. I'm not gonna be able to close on the property. This is not the right investment for me." Whatever kind of bullshit excuse he had, and I was livid. I was pissed off, right? So yeah, so he just basically walked on it, right? And I don't think I even collected any earnest money from this guy. I'm pretty sure. Again, naive, total. My first real estate deal, right? First property I ever had. So anyway, now I'm calling the neighbor. Now I'm like, "Hey, can you go over there and see what the extent of the property is?" And I've told the guy put it back. And he's like, "Well, I've made improvements that you're going to need to do this anyway, right?" And so. So the neighbor goes over and she looks at it and she just gives me the worst report. She takes pictures and I mean, like, you can see the bare studs, you can see the ground underneath. Like, it is just, they literally gutted the property, right? So I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? Because I can't rent this thing out. I'm out of state, right? This is just a huge headache. I still owe a mortgage on this thing. Remember, I'm paying for this thing. So what the hell am I going to do? And so this neighbor, she's got a nephew, I think, and I remember his name. It was Jeff, and he's a handyman, right? So he agrees to, she's like, "Oh, I can hook you up with my nephew, and he can get everything fixed up for you." And so, again, to make a long story short. Oh yeah, this guy Jeff, he had just gotten out of prison. Right? This is always like from one stupid decision to another one, right? You should always hire someone who just got out of prison, because you should give those people a chance on your property when you're remote, can't even monitor them. So anyway, I'm not going to say that it went smoothly, because it was definitely, this guy was sandbagging the job. There was always there was more, like, he was supposed to buy these materials. It was like 3 times the price. He bought himself fucking lunch, right? Like, all of this stuff. And so I'm looking at these bills and I'm just like I don't even know what to do, because I'm like, I just got to get this taken care of. So this guy's screwing. So I'm lecturing this guy, right? Finally, he gets the shit put together. He gets the plumbing done. And I mean, granted, I was pretty lucky that he could actually do anything. But he did do it. He did get it together. He got the plumbing together. He got the floor put in. I don't know how many friggin' hours he spent buffering the floor, because that was like a huge friggin' bill, renting the buffering machine on the hardwood floors. Anyway, so that was, I don't know how much money it ended up costing me, but it was a lot of money. I remember, going to Boise for a visit and talking to him and taking him out for lunch, and he was quite an interesting character. We went to the Golden Corral, nice fancy place, right? So yeah, so that's the story. I think that's pretty much it. So, obviously a couple of lessons to be learned in there. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, so what is the state of the house today? That's a good question. So now it is rented out. it's probably worth about $125,000, $130,000. Got a nice fence around it, re-sided it, took care of it. I ended up having to go in there and take care of a lot of stuff myself. Cleaned up the yard, got it nice, and so it's good now. Now it's good. It's a decent rental. It rents maybe like, I don't know, like $850, $900 a month, something like that. It's been going up. So I'm still holding on to it, right? And actually, when I first bought the property, the roof was supposed to be replaced. Like, it was the roof was on its last legs. That was 16 years ago. So whatever like 5th layer of roofing they put on there, that shit is solid, because it was supposed to be replaced and it's lasted 16 years. So you can't always trust, when someone says that. You should. That's one lesson, is don't replace shit until it actually breaks, unless it's like a preventative maintenance thing. But like something like the roof, if it hasn't leaked yet, just let it go. Like, don't like waste money. Same thing with air conditioners and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense. But so lesson learned on the whole thing, as if you haven't learned already, which is, the biggest lesson is that you will make these kind of stupid mistakes no matter how many lessons that you learn in real estate. So buy small and make the mistakes early on. Don't make this mistake. I'm glad I made this mistake on a $68,000 property and not on a $5 million property. That would have buried me, right? This other one was just really, really painful, but it taught me some important lessons. So you're gonna, and this isn't just real estate. Whatever you embark on, right? A lot of people are afraid to do things because they don't know what they're doing. That's right, you don't know what you're doing, and the only way you're gonna find out is you're gonna screw it up. So when you make the screw ups, make them small, okay? Second thing, now to be more practical with real estate, don't rent to friends, don't rent to family. Okay? If you can use a property management company, I've definitely done, at least, I think I did a video on this. If not, I'll definitely do one on doing property management company. The other thing I would say is, if you do a deal, you need to check you need to background check. Like, if you can go through a real estate agent, then you're transferring liability and agency, right? So the power of agency is really important. So if you can use a real estate agent, don't circumvent it. Don't try to save yourself a little bit of money, right? It would have been totally, if I had gone through the real estate agent on this particular deal, I wouldn't have had this problem, because that real estate agent would not have put their ass on the line and let the guy start working on the property, right? They would have had a little bit of experience and knowledge. And if they did, right? If my real estate agent who was representing me let this guy work on the property or advise me, I would be suing him, and his liability insurance would be covering me to pay for that. So there's definitely a lesson in there. Then and then I'll give you one more lesson, which should be obvious here, besides not hiring a felon. That one, you should know that without me telling you that one. But which is that if you buy a property, don't be nice. Be cautious, right? Do not let someone work on the property. Do not let anything like that go on. Don't let them come in and check out the property while you're not there one more time. Like, you got to be careful, because any kind of stuff can happen, right? And I've heard more stories than just the one that I'm saying. You got to pretend like people are out to get you, because you don't know, right? You have to be very protective in a deal like that, especially when you're dealing with a large sum of money, something like that. So anyway, that's it. I thought for those of you that asked for a story, I thought it'd be entertaining to hear. I've got tons of crazy real estate stories. Believe me, if you rent properties, it's that's why you make the big bucks in real estate, is because there is pain, right? So also, I do have a real estate course that I did put together. I do not have it for sale yet. If you are interested, I know some of you have already expressed interest. Leave a comment below and let me know. I will probably be putting it up for sale probably pretty soon here. We'll see. It'll probably be going for $500, and it's going to give you exactly what to do, how to invest in real estate, like very, very prescriptive. So I have finished putting that together, but I'm not ready to release that yet. I've got a few other things that I'm doing. But if you want it, let me know. Leave a comment below. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, check out the playlist on real estate videos that you can check out here to see more real estate videos. And let me know. Let me know if you want some more topics on real estate, some questions you have. Send me an email at john@simpleprogrammer.com, and take care.